your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki, the global grandfather. Listen, there is a slogan that no grief for any person. Me, I know they grieve for myself. When I started life, if I had agreed to myself, I would have remained poor. When I saw my father and saw my senior brothers, and the tendency was to gravitate towards them, me, I no grieve for myself. I said my case must be different. When my elder brother said that all those who read medicine in the village failed, I told myself and I told him that if only 2 people will pass, I will be the only one that will pass. I did not have admission letter before going to the University of Ibadan. When I got there, I saw my letter. I no grieve for myself. For those of you who don't understand pidgin English, is that don't agree with yourself. I grew up in a poor home. My father was the refuse collector. We were living in a mud house. Chickens were living under my bed. I will hawk pap from maize akamu. In the morning before going to school, I no grieve for myself. I will still come first. Minimum third. I will hawk firewood to be able to buy provisions to go to school. I no grieve for myself. I no grieve for myself. In medical school, I didn't have books to read. When people read, I will not read their own. But we are preparing for surgery finals. And Dr. Isaac Feludu is in Lagos now. He had a book on plastic surgery. I didn't have the book. And he said that for me to read it, I must come to his room to read it while he was sleeping. I went to his room and I was reading the book. Because I had not slept for days, sometimes I will be reading. The body wants to sleep, I will be flogging the body to stay alive. I don't grieve for myself. Because this body, if you grieve for this body, you'll be poor. Punish this body so that you can celebrate your life in the future. Treat this body like a slave so that you can live like a king later in life. Feel the pain so that you can get the gain. Dr. Feludu was sleeping. I took his book and was reading it. The book fell from my hand. Chapter 5 open. I picked it again. As I was reading it again, it fell from my hand. Chapter 5 open. That book fell about 5 times from my hand. I no grieve for myself. I no grieve for sleep. Because a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come like a bandit. I took the book, went to wash my face, and read it. It was parotid tumor. When I got to the exam hall, to be fair, you have to fold paper, the numbers of the cases. So I picked number 6. When I got there, it was parotid tumor. And Professor Achempong from Ghana was the lead examiner. Professor Adebo was there. And when I manifested, he said, this man must be a very good man. My professor said, yes, he doesn't know me. Success has many parents, failure is an orphan. I no grieve for myself. When I was to marry my wife, I had only 54 naira. I was 26, he was 24. When I made up my mind, I went to Aba. I was going to see patients in patent medicine stores. They will pay me 5 naira for each patient I see. In Ungwa Road, I would trek with the money they paid me, maybe 10 naira, from Ungwa Road down to Park Road, so that I can use that money to buy a bottle of hot drink for my in-laws. I was not a Christian. I would go from hospital to hospital looking for places to work. I no grieve for myself. I was practicing medicine, but I found out that just practicing medicine, I won't actualize my dream of stopping practice by 40. So I started importing cars. I would drive cars from Lagos by 8 in the evening. I drove one day, got to Benin. My money finished. I went to look for Dr. Imad Jesais in Australia now. I knocked on his door. I went to UBTH to find his address, and they gave me his address. I knocked on his door by around 11 something. He opened his door and gave me money. I bought fuel, and we continued towards Aba from Benin. At night, and as we were getting close to Omunede, I used towel to tie my head, so that I would look mysterious. One policeman was following me. By the time he overtook me, he said, "Madam, park." I parked. I said, "I'm not madam, I'm Dr. Apoki. Oga with the hustle." I said, "Doctor, go." I got to Awomama by 5 o'clock. Fuel finished. 4:30, fuel finished. I woke Dr. Kingsley Oje of Chiwendi Hospital, my classmate. He gave me money. I bought fuel. I got to Aba by 5:30 a.m. My wife ran and came to embrace me and said, this man. I slept till 7:30 and did surgeries till in the evening. I no gree for myself. I had the option to relax. I had the option to be lazy. I no gree for myself. When I came here, I became the first bus driver. I no gree for myself. I was washing toilets in the school. I no gree for myself. I was the first great man. I no gree for myself. The list goes on and on. You can't fold your hands, just relax, be shouting amen, I receive, I take it, you fall down, you break plastic chairs, you don't wake up with an energy. I saw a banner, all your problems will be over after this conference. That's deception. Stand up, man. Fight poverty. You have to break the neck of poverty, break the vertebral column, so that it cannot see your children to fight with. I no grieve for myself. Till today, I know they grieve for myself. I'm a hard fighter of backwardness, inferiority complex, intimidation, and poverty. No grief for yourself. Your major problem is not another person, it's yourself. I'm your friend, Dr. Charles Pokey, the radical grandfather. God bless you. Share this video. Subscribe to this channel. Send me a message on +234 7052 136763. No grief for yourself.